Top 5 common problems entrepreneurs have, and let me tell you why we can solve them, is because there's some similarities that these individuals have when it comes to business. Hi, I'm Derek Butts, and one of the things that I love about it is that I'm able to go back through my life and take all the experiences. At 20 years old, I was planning a church. 20-year-old. What in the world was I doing? I knew Jonah and I knew some scripture, but I didn't know about planting a church. But it helped me to cut my teeth in being able to attract people and draw people and be able to get some buzz. Lisa Nichols has said something that has stuck with me for so long, and that is, if you'll create enough buzz that there's business within the buzz. She was so right. Even though I didn't have a lot of knowledge or didn't have a lot of money at the time, I had this ability to create some buzz, which caused people to want to listen. And once you get attention, you ultimately can give direction. So I want to show you a couple of things that is the reason why we're getting wins inside of what we call Assist You to Win, the coaching lab. And the first thing that I want to tell you is that before you get into any bit of the strategy, so I'm going to write that down because I know it. This is what everybody wants. They want to know, what's the strategy? What's the secret sauce? Tell me a formula that I can follow. And if you will give me that formula, whatever that might be, what is A plus B? Give me the formula that I can follow that helps me get to the result, right? And so we're going to get into that. But before you get into the strategy, there's two things that I'm telling you, we have to conquer and we have to master. The first one is, it is our first word at Assist You to Win, and that word is clarity. It's the first thing you got to do. You got to get clear, right? Clarity cuts through the noise. It gets to the communication, to the heart of the matter. When I think about clarity, I think about twofold, right? I think about, where am I currently? That is my location. That's where I'm at, right? So I'm going to take a 360 view of what is, where am I, right? That's location. The second thing out of clarity is my destination. What do I desire? What do I want? This right here is the goals or the dreams that we have. Helen Keller said something very powerful. She said, what in the world could have been worse than being born blind? And you know what she said? She said, to have sight, but have no vision. To be able to see, but not see past my circumstance, my problem. So the first thing I want to tell you is we got to have clarity. If I lie about where I am, and then I don't even have anywhere for me to go, it's more like getting on a treadmill. You're producing a lot of effort, but you're not making any progress. You're not going anywhere. So the first thing you do, you got to have clarity. The second thing, though, even when you get clarity, the second thing is we have to deal with what I've been calling right now is mindset maintenance. And I'm telling you, you got to catch this lesson right here. Mindset maintenance is where I'm dealing with my thoughts. I'm dealing with my belief system. I'm dealing with how I see me. You know, when I was a little boy, of course, you see, I was always a dark-skinned kid. I had a large gap in my mouth, and I did not love me. I didn't love me. So what I had to do is I had to perform. So it was either perform in sports, it was perform in school, it was tell a story that would outdo the story that somebody else just told. But I was doing all that because for me, I didn't love the skin that I was in. And when you don't love the skin that you're in, you start what? You start comparing your gifts, your talents, your resources. You compare. If you don't think yours is better than somebody else's, you know what you do? You stay in. You play small. You dim your light. You don't go as hard as you know you could go. You don't pursue. You pack up your bags. You retreat. You go backwards. It's because mindset maintenance is not happening, so I'm going to compare. I'm going to size things up. But when we have proper mindset maintenance, is I'm having proper thought processes about who I am, me controlling my destiny. And I have to then get to the place that I'm not looking for somebody to come rescue for me. I'm looking for me to look internally and for me to look inside, because the answer lies within. Some of the most powerful things that we ever will do inside of coaching is we cause somebody to see that they already have the answer. And our job is to guide you, is to cause you to have that Albert Einstein effect, which is guide people to discovery. And when you discover that the answers within, is why I make the statement, you build what you birth, or you drop what you adopt. You build what you birth. If it's your baby, you're gonna build it. If it's not, you sometimes will do it when it's convenient, you'll do it when it's comfortable, but you won't do it with the consistency that's needed. So mindset maintenance is very important. I gotta get my thoughts together. I got to get my thoughts together. Right there on the screen, you're seeing something that just popped on. And it says, well, look what it says. It says, you are headed in the direction of your most dominant thought. Can I repeat that again? Matter of fact, I'm going to change up how I said it. This time I'm going to say, I am headed in the direction of my most dominant thought. What are you thinking about right now? How are you thinking? It's been said that the power of the brain, if I will believe something, I can achieve it. But if I believe it, even if it's not true, it still becomes something that can get manifested. The scriptures say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so he is, or so he becomes. What's happening in my thought? I got to take captive these thoughts as a business owner. I know you want to talk about strategy, but I want to talk about your mind, because if you don't believe right, you can't behave right. Oh, if you don't believe right, you can't behave right. So these two things are very important. Clarity, I need to know where I am, I need to know where I'm going, and I got to make sure that in the middle, my mind is together, because if I give you a strategy that your mind's not ready for, can I tell you something? You won't do it. And it could be the reason why right now it's not a knowing issue, because some of you can come right to the board right now and tell me exactly what you need to do in order to grow your business. You could tell me. You know exactly that you got to get visible. You knew that. Didn't you know that? Come on, be honest. Did you not know that? You knew that you had to get visible. One of my good friends, Shane Campbell, he's a loan officer, and I made this statement, and he just loves this statement. And what did I say? I said, when business becomes visible, business becomes possible. So watch this. When I want to increase my business, what do I need to do? I need to increase my visibility, right? If I increase my visibility, what am I doing? I'm increasing my opportunity. I started selling cars at Westway Ford in Irving, Texas, and we used to call it OTDB. Kelvin Buckner, you know what this is. Come on. John Duran, you know what this is. OTDB. This was opportunities to do business. When I increase my visibility, I'm increasing my opportunities to do business. But if I don't have the right mindset maintenance, if I'm not clear, I will not get visible. So the first thing that we did with the client, listen, I'm so excited. I've helped a lot of people go to make six figures in a year, right? I've helped a lot of people go make six figures in 6 months. But the first time that I ever helped somebody make six figures in a day, it just blew my mind. Now, let me just tell you, all results don't happen to the same person, because everybody hasn't done the same work. So this lady in particular had done such a great job of building a following. She was visible. She had such great visibility that she had a huge following of people that she had in her circle. And she was at a season where she knew that it was time for her to launch a course. And she had the course already ready. So when I come into her life, she already had the course. She already had what I call the crowd, right? So she had the course. Let me write it up here for you. She had the crowd. So she had the following of people. But you know what she needed at the time? She needed some of this mindset work, because what she was going to price it as would have been way too low for the value that she was going to present. Her audience, listen to this, her audience, every time they followed what she said, they were going to make between $4,000 and $7,500, $4,000 and $7,500 every time they followed what was in her course. And she was getting ready to charge $47 to $97 for that course. And when I heard that, I said, hold on, please, just listen to me. We need to come back to your thought process for just a second. Because just because it's your first time doesn't mean that you need to charge this for it, because you actually are pricing yourself too low. So we started doing this work. It took us 3 sessions. And as we did the 3 sessions, we walked through and we found where there were some money blocks into her mind. And what happened is we started to remove the money blocks, which when we removed the money blocks, it caused us to get to the place of clarity. You said, where are you going, Derek? I'm going somewhere. When we got to the place of clarity, it cleared out the clutter. And let me show you what it did. It gave her the confidence to launch large and launch correctly. She both launched large and she launched correctly. So let me show you what we did. She was going to charge $47. After 3 sessions, we moved the number, kept the 2 offers, but we moved the number from 47 to 497. We moved it from 97 to 997. She packed a webinar together, and what happened? She ended up making $115,000 in one day. You say, everybody focuses right here. Come on, come back right here. You got to come back to the mindset. Because remember, this number here, what it could have easily been this number there. Both are good. But she would have left all the money on the table, and she would also cause some people to feel maybe a little bit skeptical, because if this is so good, why does it only cost this? I'm telling you right now, some of your strategy is not in the formula of what you need to do. Some of your strategy is to go one step back. Before you get going this way, go one step back. Is how do I think? How do I think? How do I think? What's my thoughts about it? Because I can't live consistently and do consistently when I think negatively. It's just hard. It's hard to be a person with the glass half full when you are thinking all these negative thoughts. Well, they're not going to buy it from me. They're not going to let me be the realtor. They're not going to come to my business. They're not going to pick me. They're not going to, see, mindset maintenance. So when you already are telling yourself they're not going to, why would you get more visible? Because what that does is they're not to mentality, and then I get visible, turns into what? Rejection. Who wants to get more rejection? Nobody does. So you see what I'm saying? But when I correct the mindset and then I get visible, then I get confidence. And I'm telling you, what separates good from great is this word right here, confidence. How do I get it? It's this word over here called clarity. I know this board's a mess right now. I get it. It's a mess. But that's what happens, is that's where we are. It's a mess. So when I can get clarity, and I can get my mind clear and have it thinking process and thinking positive thoughts and thinking properly, what happens is I get the confidence to what? Come back and work the strategy. Oh, now I'm back to that thing. You already know what to do, but you got to work this confidence out. And this is what happens to our clients, is that as they work the strategy, you know why they stay in our program, why they stay in the coaching lab, why they stay around coaching, why they stay around this community, is because accountability keeps me working consistently a strategy that produces productivity. Man, I said a mouthful. So I'm telling you right now, right where you are, this is the reason why we do what we do. This is the reason why we connect to you. This is the reason why, you're going to the page and you're clicking the link to follow the page. This is the reason why when we offer a challenge, you're jumping into the room. Yeah, this is the reason why. It's because we are going to show you things like this that's going to do that. I'm going to end real quick with this. I was with my good friend Lisa Nichols, and I was at her speaking right. Man, I'm just telling you, she does such an amazing job. And here I am. I have moved into a general manager position. I've helped a dealership go from losing $300,000 a month to where it's making money. I have went to John Maxwell. I've done all of these things. But you know what? There was this internal block in my mind that I needed this transformation to occur. I'm so grateful for these earth angels. There was 3 other ladies that were there. I was sitting in a chair. Matter of fact, it was kind of like this. I was sitting in a chair, and as I was sitting down, they were surrounding me, and we had to deal with this thought in my head. So I was a person that let my charisma outshine my character because I did not trust that people loved me for me. And I had this block in my life. I had this block in my mind. I had this block in how I was operating. So when somebody told a story, I would lie and tell a different story because I always needed this whole thing to be about this performance. And then finally, in that session, man, I can remember saying, the best of me is all of me. The best of me is all of me. And I kept saying that. The best of me is all of me. And I'm going to tell you, tears began to flow down my face. And the reason the tears came down my face is because it was like a healing was happening in my heart. Because for so long, I was hating the person that I was having to be in order for people to somewhat celebrate me. But that day it broke. I'm so grateful. I can't wait. I'm coming back to Speaking Right because it was the place like that did so much to me. You say, Derek, you tell me that for what? Because when you get around some authentic people, some genuine people, some people that want you to win, you don't leave. You just have breakthrough. And I told you about one of the clients. I can tell you about story after story after story about these clients that happened to. And that's the reason why our community is so tight. Now we've decided to open this up a little bit. And so that's the reason why you see us out here. Matter of fact, you see all this stuff. We're visible right now because we're looking for more people that need this transformation in your business. Your business right now is a transformation away. I say it all the time. One challenge, one coach, one change. You're just one thing away. You're one community away. Click the link. Follow me. Just follow me. Just follow the page. Just follow the page. Because what you just got, we do a lot more of this inside the community. Can I say what I always say? It doesn't matter your age or stage, your race or place. Whatever you do, I really want you to win. You didn't wake up this morning to fail. You woke up to win. Assist you to win, the connecting place for winners.